Hello, honorable members of the clan. So let's go to the Madanga Commission of Inquiry, even though I'm not going to spend much time there. But I just want to say something that I came to notice. And in my head, and I'm thinking, every. Wait, I think I'm even losing my words here because what I am discovering is quite disturbing, to say the least. But anyways, in the Madanga Commission of Inquiry, we have IDEC leader by the name of Andrea Johnson. You would remember Andrea Johnson fell ill on her way to the Madanga Commission of Inquiry when she was awaiting to testify about the arrest of crimes intelligence boss being Dumsane Khumalo. Now, of course, we had a replacement witness by Brian Padiachi. So in my head, now it's making a bit of sense that I am thinking about it. It was a strategy. The strategy was Padiachi, if it succeeds that my staging of my sickness, you would definitely be called next as the replacement witness. That way, myself, my legal team, and whoever else that is interested in this matter, we would listen to Padiachi's testimony, and then we are going to piggyback out of that testimony what direction Andrea Johnson's testimony is going to go. That is what I picked up, that the strategy seemed to have worked in terms of Andrea being replaced by Padiachi. Because I think it was going to be Andrea Johnson and then the lead investigating officer being Brian Padiachi, but it was done reversely. Now, I'm listening in the morning how Andrea Johnson attempted to not to testify. Basically, she was taking this entire matter that she needs to come to the Madan Commission of Inquiry to respond about. Why did you arrest crime intelligence boss, Mr. Tumsane Kumalo? So she's like, hey, all of that stuff is no longer on my desk, is not on my hands. You need to call this particular, or you need to subpoena this particular advocate who is now in charge of this matter. But as that application was being made by her lawyers, I was like, but who initiated it? That's what we are interested in. Not to whom it was shipped to, but who started it. And who started it happens to be sitting on that hot seat in the Madanga Commission of Inquiry and already sworn in. So we are waiting for her to tell us, where did it all start? And why did it have to start the way it did? So right now she is delivering her lead. She has 3 different statements. I think we've been through to 2 so far. And once she is done with submitting her leads, that is when we are going to get to the crux of where all of this began, which also includes the section 27 advisory that Dumsane Kumalo needed to be arrested for what? Well, she's gonna have to tell us what was it for. So it's quite interesting. But guys, I think I must have drifted off while I was listening to Andrea Johnson. And I was like, Andrea Johnson, she does not come alone. She doesn't come with Farouz Khan. She doesn't come with Shamila Batouri. She doesn't come with Padiachi. She doesn't come with the other gentlemen. I think she comes with some politicians. I think so. Where those politicians are, but I think they are in parliament. These are the type of parliament politicians I'm talking about. And for some reason, maybe those politicians themselves have ambitions for the country. They have personal ambitions with the country. And maybe Andrea Johnson was promised something. We don't know what was promised of her. And then this is when it hit me. Guys, there are so many things that are happening in South Africa, which also includes yesterday the SIU going to seize more uh, property from Morgan Maumela. But the common question everybody keeps asking is, but then we see you seizing property worth hundreds of millions of rands. Clearly, that's evidence that there's prima facie evidence that you can arrest this individual. The operative word here being arrest. You can arrest this individual, and the prospect of winning the case by the state is pretty high. Why? Because of all the prima facie evidence that SIU has been collecting. So to say that no, we are doing our due diligence, we do not want to be hasty, arrest him, and then the next thing he walks free and we can never prosecute him again because the investigation made a mistake and quickly arrested him. But it's done that to every South African. I bet if it was you or me in Maumela's position, we would have been arrested way before the Lamborghinis and all those vehicles being lined up in that truck. We would have gone along with it to jail. But no. So for me, it does not make sense. And I think they're trying to control our minds not to go there because we're desperate. South Africans are desperate for what? For successful prosecution. So when the SIU says that, no, we don't want to make any mistakes, so we retrieve. We're like, oh, okay, do you, because we want justice. I don't think justice, whether we are going to do due diligence or we are not going to do due diligence, we are still going to win. This goes across the board with all Julius Mkwanazi, all these people that we are seeing this fantastic commission of inquiry, the Madan Commission of Inquiry, the work that it's doing. But as long as we have this bunch of politicians in our parliament, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen to all the implicated and accused. All that are implicated, suspects, and accused. We are just watching literally the South African life passing us by like that, where people are not going to be held accountable. As long as they have some sort of an attachment to a politician in parliament, those people in parliament will make sure that one way or the other, all the implicated, suspects, and accused do not see that hammer after being declared guilty ever happens. Because if it does happen, it's not going to leave them in a good position themselves. They will always live a life of paranoia. I think we are definitely in trouble as South Africa with our current politicians. And I've said this several times and many times before, that I think our saving grace is for South Africans to move away from politicians. We need to start, number one, by detaching ourselves from politicians. And by detaching, I mean like we need to stop looking at politicians as demigods, that they are beyond reproach. You cannot criticize them. And if you do criticize them, you will have people all over you like bad rash. You will say something about Herman Mashaba, every member of the Action SA, I'm not saying that is the case. I'm just making an example. Every member of Action SA will be all over you like bad rash for simply criticizing something Helen Mashaba had done. You do the same thing with PA. Oh, you even get death threats. You say something about Julius Malema. Oh, not only hell broke loose, but even the pits of hell released the most firing of fires. Why? Because you touch the untouchable. That is what we need to move away from. Because these people, they do what they do to us because you treat them as gods. We are the reason politicians do as they please to us. We cannot blame them. Politicians, especially those that serve us in parliament, provincial legislatures, as well as council houses, we are the ones that elected those people, and therefore they reflect you and me. All the nonsense that the members of parliament are, that means the nonsense is you and me because we put that nonsense there. So we cannot just point fingers at them without pointing fingers at us, guys. So now, if you want South Africa to be fixed, we need to fix our mindset about politicians. They are dangerous to you and me. And I don't have to tell you that. You are living it on a daily basis. Now you are seeing politicians coming to say, hey, you doing laundry? Let me do your laundry. Oh, you guys haven't had bread in a while? Hey, one family, one bread. And then all of that, it's how you allow them to treat you. You allow them how to treat you. So if you're going to move away from that and say, no, you should be washing my clothes anyway. And when I'm going to town and I'm a single mother and I don't know where to have a daycare and to whom to take care of my child while I run to an interview, go to a politician. The politician must say, oh yeah, bring your child here. You go for the interview in the city. When you are done, come back. Not when it's election time. We need to switch our mindset from, oh, it's election time and they're going to be here and we're going to be given 2 pieces of KFC. No. After every elections, day one after the elections, you must start seeing a difference in your community. Day one. I know somebody's going to say, but Rome was not built in one day. That excuse in politics does not fly. That excuse in politics does not fly. You know why it shouldn't fly? Because they are using your money. Whether they deliver or don't deliver, it's still your money that they are using or not using. So you must not take a no for an answer. You must never take an excuse for an answer. You need delivery and you need delivery now. But I'm telling you, none of these politicians are going to do it. They're too used to us. These guys are too used to us. They know we're not going to do anything. We will continue to bring them back on the same seats every election cycle. So if you think all this criminality we are witnessing at the Madan Commission of Inquiry and the Madan Commission of Inquiry is shedding, and we are seeing people being arrested and getting prosecuted right now, and if you think that prosecution is going to see a success at the end of the day, while these politicians in that parliament with our power, they're just going to fold their arms and watch their, I almost said something, watch their friends being prosecuted like that when they could do something. We need to change them. We need to change them. And as South Africans, we need a public policy that is specific. I know they have their rule books, whatever book that they have to follow. They don't follow those. They only follow when it's convenient, when another party does something opposite to the rule book, and then suddenly you hear about it. When is it going to be? I know somebody's going to say, it does exist, there it is. No, 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 no. We need to rewrite it. We need to rewrite it that if, number one, you need to be evaluated every 3 months. And you're not going to be evaluated by your comrades or by, it needs to be a body, a public body that rotates, that is going to make assessments of all our members of parliament. What have you done for the people of South Africa in this quarter? Show. And if you have not delivered in 2 consecutive times, be removed. Consider yourself removed because you do not know whether you are going or you are coming. And that goes for cabinet. That goes for even the president of the Republic of South Africa. And the only way we can achieve this, guys, is by removing these people in parliament and I'm still saying, independent candidacy might be our saving grace. From National Assembly or the 2 houses in parliament and all the other legislation houses or legislatures. That is what is going to help us. Because now when you're putting people who have mastered the art of lying to you, and not only have they mastered the art of lying to you, but they also know which buttons to press if the lie does not go through. Do you think the ANC is going to sit down and roll over and say, oh, South Africans don't like us anymore? No, 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 no. They are busy right now. They are concocting something that when they come to you, you'll be like, oh, yeah, let's give them another chance, guys. Let's give them another chance. They are going to play with your emotions. They are going to play with your psychology. They are going to play with your poverty. They are going to blame shift. They are going to do all kinds of things, but holding themselves accountable, no. No. We are not having the right conversations. Instead, we get people that says, oh, there's no alternative in South Africa. It's a lie. It's a lie. South Africa has alternatives. It's just that it makes you feel better to say that, and it will justify why you voted the ANC. Because you convinced yourself that there's no alternative. So if there's no alternative and you want to see change in your community, why don't you stand up and be that alternative? Sometimes we do things that we don't like. You will fall in love with the job. So manipulating yourself to accept mediocrity and probably something that is even killing you. It's scary, guys, how we think as South Africans. We need to start blaming ourselves first. In any psychological setting, they say in order for you to get the help you need to admit you have a problem. So we need to admit that we have a problem so that we can solve our problem. What is our problem? Because all of this that is happening, it will be in vain. We know there are people that's supposed to be arrested like Morgan Maumela. He's supposed to already inside the criminal procedure system, but he's not. And the excuse we keep getting, no, we're doing due diligence so that he does not escape prosecution altogether. And yet there's prima facie evidence. But when there's prima facie evidence, it simply means we got you. There's no denying this evidence. So what makes you think that he will find a loophole, he uses that loophole, and then he walks free? And what judge is going to allow that? 2 billion rand was stolen at the Tembisa hospital. It's a fact. And now they found the culprits that stole the 2 billion rand in bits and pieces here and there and there and there, buying Lamborghinis, buying houses, buying that property and that property. That's evidence. So we must not fold our arms and say, oh, okay, SIU, we hear you. Yeah, keep doing a good job. That's where I am having trouble. I'm having trouble with this. Just like I'm having trouble with trusting the politicians in our parliament. I mean, I don't have to remind you what is what we're about to face when they have finally withdrawn their report, the ad hoc committee report on Tlatam Khona's accusations. So far, we're hearing they are saying everybody's exonerated. Everybody. That includes Andrea Johnson, that is on the stand in the Madan Commission of Inquiry. As long as we have these people in our parliament, guys, we're not going anywhere. This country is not going anywhere. I'm afraid to tell you. And that reality hit me, and it's not sitting well with me at all. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do that I am wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. I don't know. Please, in the comment section, tell me, Clancy's, relax. We are going to see successful prosecutions out of these. Forget about those parliamentarians. Make me feel better, because I'm sorry. I'm not feeling good at all. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. Let's continue the Madan Commission of Inquiry. I am waiting for the action, the cross-examination. Andrea Johnson is not going to walk out there the way she is right now. And yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Goodbye.